Hola, buenos días a todos. Mi nombre es Laura Steffen y estoy en el departamento de mercadeo de la Asociación Latinoamericana. Me encuentro aquí con Dr. Carlos del Río y Dr. Audrey Arona. Thank you both so much for being here with us. Antes de empezar, quiero darles como la logística del live un poco, ya que vamos a estar hablando en inglés y en español. Dr. Audrey Arona, she'll be speaking in English to us, y Dr. Carlos del Río va a estar hablándonos en español. Mil gracias a los dos por estar aquí con nosotros. Before we get started, before we get started with the questions we got from our family well-being department, I would love for you both to give us a quick update on how the vaccination process is going and what do you expect from the new update that Governor Kemp gave earlier this week about who's eligible for the vaccine. So now I'm going to say this in Spanish. That's how it's going to work for those of you watching. Antes de empezar, quiero que los doctores nos cuenten un poco cómo va el proceso de vacunación en el estado de Georgia y que nos cuenten qué esperan del nuevo anuncio que dio el gobernador Kemp sobre quién va a ser elegible para la vacuna de ahora en adelante. Hoy, actually, es el día que ya todo el mundo puede recibir esa vacuna, pero quiero escuchar esto de parte de los doctores. Doctor del Río, si quieres empezar contándonos en español un poco sobre esto.
Claro que sí, Laura, con todo gusto. Mira, hoy, a partir de hoy, cualquier persona mayor de 16 años puede recibir la vacuna de COVID-19. Y hay muchos sitios donde lo pueden recibir. Puede ser en una clínica, puede ser en un departamento de salud, puede ser en estos sitios grandes de vacunación que se han puesto en Mercedes-Benz Stadium, en el Delta Museum cerca del aeropuerto. Hay muchos de estos sitios de vacunación. Es fácil obtener la vacuna, no tienes que mostrar que tienes seguro, no te cobran por la vacuna y no tienes que demostrar papeles. Es decir, cualquier persona tienes que enseñar una identificación o tienes que demostrar un lugar de residencia y eso es todo. Mi recomendación, lo que le pediría a la gente es que se vacune porque requerimos vacunar a la mayor parte de la población y si entre más pronto lo hacemos, más rápido vamos a salir de este problema. Yo le digo a la gente, está en tus manos, de ti depende. Vacúnate y vamos a salir de este problema. Y entre más rápido lo hagamos, más rápido será esto.
Así es, doctor Del Río, mil gracias. Dr. Audrey Arona, do you want to give us a quick update on your end, how things are going?
Sure, absolutely. And tell me when you need me to stop so you can translate, because I don't know how long you can do this. But in any event, yes, 16 and older. We have two large vaccination sites, one at the Gwinnett Place Mall Old Sears location that faces 85 freeway. It is on 4 bus lines, so it's real easy to get to for those that don't have transportation. We also have a large one in Springfield Baptist Church in Rockdale County, and mid-April we'll be opening one in Newton County also, and that will be at the Piedmont Technical College. The important thing to know is that we require no documentation. You don't even have to have a driver's license. You do need to be 16 and older. 16 and 17-year-olds get Pfizer only. 17 or 18 and older can have all 3 vaccines. We're currently using Johnson & Johnson for our mobile sites. So currently our vaccination sites are only Pfizer and Moderna. And then the last thing is that we are pushing out mobile clinics, mobile teams, so that deeper into our community. So if people don't feel comfortable coming to us, look to a church or a community organization or something like that in their neighborhood, because we will certainly be there soon.
Okay, thank you so much. Para una traducción de lo que la doctora Arona nos contó, los lugares, después de que terminemos el live, te voy a pedir que nos mande una lista para poner eso en los comentarios de este live para que todo el mundo los tenga, pero ella dijo más o menos lo mismo que el doctor Carlos del Río nos contó, que no piden documentación cuando te vas a poner la vacuna. Cualquier persona mayor de 16 años puede venir a ponerse la vacuna, y si no puedes venir a los lugares que están ofreciendo en las locaciones de doctor Arona, puedes pedir que hay unas clínicas movibles que pueden llegar a ti y te pueden hacer la vacuna disponible a ti. Entonces, una vez tengamos esa lista from de la doctora Arona. Voy a poner esto en nuestra página web y en nuestros comentarios de este live para que todo el mundo los tenga asequibles y puedan registrarse para la vacuna, porque ya como dijo el doctor del Río, es muy importante para empezar a volver a la normalidad, ponerse la vacuna. So now I want to get ahead and ask some rapid questions that we got from our folks. In previous lives, we had more general overview of how effective and how secure the 3 vaccines that have been approved are, but I want to get some rapid questions. So what I'm going to do is just ask the question in Spanish and then in English, and just both of you answer, and we'll move along, because these are some specific questions that we've been getting from our family well-being department and some of our clients. So I think they're very important that a lot of people are probably getting these questions at home. So the first question is, ¿podré elegir qué vacuna me pongo? Will I be able to pick what vaccine am I getting?
No, como dijo la doctora Arona, si tienes entre 16 y 18 años te toca Pfizer. Si tienes más de 18 años te puede tocar cualquiera de las 3. En este momento, la mejor vacuna es la que te puedes poner ese día. Entonces, esto no es cuestión de elegir. Yo, como le digo a la gente, eso es como estamos en una crisis, es como estar en un barco que se está hundiendo, decir, yo quiero el salvavidas rojo, prefiero el verde. Agarra el que haya. En este momento es momento porque todas las vacunas que han sido aprobadas por la FDA son buenas, son eficaces, y yo recomiendo a la gente tomar la primera que pueda recibir.
Yes, and the way that I'm not quite sure everything that he said. However, right now, logistically, we have to specifically manage our inventory of vaccine. So we are getting more vaccine every week, but currently we have to, some weeks we get more Pfizer, some weeks we get more Moderna. And so there really currently is not a choice for that at all. If you don't want Johnson & Johnson at one of our mobile sites, which we're trying to use Johnson & Johnson only for those mobile sites, then they're always free to schedule with us at a different place or time to get the others. The most important thing to understand is that you really don't need a choice of the vaccine, because they are all equally effective in keeping people out of the hospital and away from death. They work the same, all 3 of them.
Perfect. Thank you both so much. The next question is, ¿se puede combinar las vacunas? Can I combine the vaccines? You know, if I get one time one and then the other Moderna versus Pfizer, can I do that?
You know, no sabemos la respuesta, no tenemos datos. Habiendo dicho eso, el CDC, mi recomendación es si te pones la primera Pfizer, la segunda sea Pfizer, si te pones la primera Moderna, la segunda sea Moderna. Si te pones, por ejemplo, una Pfizer, sería bueno que no te pusieras después una Johnson & Johnson, pero el CDC nos ha dicho que sí. Además, sabemos que no tienen que ser los 21 días o 28 días. Pueden pasar mucho más tiempo, hasta 12 semanas para la segunda dosis. Entonces, tienes tiempo de esperar. Sin embargo, el CDC ha dicho que en caso de una emergencia, en caso de que de veras no hubiera, puedes usar una, en lugar de una Pfizer, una Moderna y combinarlas, pero no tenemos datos. Entonces, la recomendación es hacer las cosas lo más apegado a la manera en que fueron aprobadas las vacunas. Mi recomendación es mejor esperarte unos días y recibir la misma vacuna que recibiste antes.
All right, and I'm not sure what he said, but we don't intentionally mix the vaccines. And if that were to happen, the guidance is that they really don't have to do anything about that other than just report that. However, in extraordinary circumstances, it is allowed by the CDC to mix those vaccines.
And Audrey, I think that the other point I made is that because we can wait, it doesn't need to be the 21 or 28 days. If they tell you we're going to get the vaccine in another week or in 2 weeks, you're better off waiting and just getting the second vaccine, the one you already took.
Great, thank you.
That's correct. Now that we got into the vaccines that have been approved, I know some in the news have been saying that there is possibly a 4th vaccine that might get approved, the AstraZeneca vaccine. What do you both think about this? And, you know, is it safe to take this one as well? Is this one dose, 2 dose? I haven't been, you know.
Bueno, la vacuna de AstraZeneca es 2 dosis y muy probablemente la FDA vaya a recibir un paquete de la compañía para la posible aprobación. Yo no quiero opinar si es buena o no es buena hasta que no la revise la FDA. Hay que tener confianza en la FDA. Los científicos que trabajan ahí, el comité asesor de la FDA va a revisar todo. Van a poner el paquete completo de regulación en el internet, lo podemos revisar todos. Si la FDA la aprueba, es una buena vacuna. Si la FDA no la aprueba, no es una buena vacuna. Mi principal interés en esta vacuna es que es una vacuna que es muy barata y fácil de producir, y de hecho va a ser la vacuna que va a salvar al mundo. Y para la gente de Latinoamérica, en muchos países ya se está utilizando esta vacuna. Entonces tú puedes tener familiares que han sido vacunados con la vacuna AstraZeneca en México, en Chile, en otros países. Y por tanto, lo que puedo decir hasta ahora es que en esos países está siendo utilizada y está funcionando.
Okay. Dr. Arana, I'll give you a quick translation of what he said. He said that this vaccine has been used a lot in Latin American countries, but he doesn't want to give an opinion right now about the vaccine just because he wants the FDA to go through the whole process and get the package for the vaccine for that to be approved, and that he fully trusts the FDA on the approval process. So if they approve it, we are sure that the vaccine is good for us to take. And since they've been taking it in some countries in Latin America and it's been working, we can trust the vaccine. And that's my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then the only thing that I would add is I think we'll see a fourth vaccine from Novavax before we'll see AstraZeneca. Yeah. That is also a 2-dose vaccine that's 21 days apart like Pfizer, but it doesn't have any genetic material. It's a subunit-based vaccine.
Okay. Thank you. All right. The next question that we have is, what type of secondary effects need to be reported once I get vaccinated that are not normal after I got the shot? ¿Qué tipo de problemas? Perdón.
Yo lo que recomiendo a la gente es, en cuanto a efectos de la vacuna, después de que te vacunes, te puedes tomar, si tienes un teléfono celular, puedes inscribirte en una cosa que se llama V-Safe del CDC. Y entonces ahí te están preguntando con regularidad sobre cómo te sientes después de la vacuna, sobre efectos secundarios, y ahí tú lo reportas. La mayor parte de la gente tiene, por ejemplo, mi hija se vacunó hace 2 días o 3 días, tiene 30 años, y se quejó de dolor en el brazo, le dolía bastante el brazo. Al día siguiente tuvo un poquito de cansancio, de malestar, pero nada más. Tomó unos Tylenols y está perfectamente bien. Sí, puedes tener dolor, puedes tener fatiga, puedes tener un poco de fiebre, pero dura menos de 24 horas.
I understood what he was saying there. And all 3 vaccines, what we're seeing, our district health department has given out nearly, well, this week as of today, we'll top 100,000 vaccines. And we just haven't seen side effects that differ much between the vaccines, and they're all pretty mild.
And I would tell you, I mean, I tell people that the main side effect that I had was a huge sense of relief and gratitude for having been vaccinated.
I love that. And we're seeing that too. People are just so grateful for the opportunity to be vaccinated. So we're excited to open it up to a larger percentage of the population. And as we do so, make sure you tell people that there is going to be widely available places to get the vaccine. We're going to see the supply hopefully reach the demand for this. And really, like Dr. Del Rio was saying, we really need to have everybody understand that they can get back to a more normal life as soon as they get vaccinated.
Efectivamente, Laura, mira, creo que es importantísimo que nuestra comunidad entienda que si nos vacunamos, yo quiero que seamos los hispanos los que más nos vacunemos. Hay que llevar no solamente lleva a tu familia, lleva a tus amigos, lleva a tus compadres, pero vacúnate. Queremos que sean los hispanos los que más se vacunen. A nivel mundial, los hispanos son muy buenos para ponerse vacunas. Te puedo decir, cuando yo estuve en México, teníamos tasas de vacunaciones bien altas. Vamos a mostrar que la comunidad hispana puede estar a la cabeza en recibir la vacuna.
Así es. Una vez tengamos la posibilidad de que esas vacunas que están llegando al estado sean disponibles para todo el mundo, esperamos que todos los latinos en nuestra comunidad puedan obtener esa vacuna. Entonces, ahora que estamos metiéndonos el tema del registro, de cómo obtener la vacuna, quiero preguntarle a los dos, how do I register for the vaccine? Very general question, but if you could pinpoint how do I do it?
Well, we have a state-wide unified scheduling system now. So anyone can go to our website or go directly to VRAS, toomey.com and register that way at whatever site that they want. Please be sure to tell everyone that if they have visitors from out of the country, out of the state, and they're here for an extended period of time, I would say just more than a few days, they're going to be here for quite a while, then make sure that they get vaccinated as well.
Esa información, thank you, Doctor. And I think that's very important information. I'm going to translate it real quick. La doctora Arona nos contó que si tienes familiares que vienen de fuera del país, que vienen de fuera del estado, ahora son elegibles para poder ponerse la vacuna aquí. Entonces, si tienes familia que se va a venir a quedar por unos días, unas semanas, asegúrate de que puedas guardarles un puesto en una cita para ponerse la vacuna, ya que es muy importante que todos en la familia estemos vacunados. Doctor Del Río, do you have anything to add?
No, lo que le diría nada más a la gente es que quizás lo más complicado de la vacuna es registrarte. Tienes que saber usar el internet, luego la información puede que no esté en español. Entonces, lo que le pediría a la gente, si tú sabes registrarte, si tú eres internet savvy, si sabes usar el internet, no solo te registra a ti, registra a otras personas que les va a costar trabajo. Es decir, ayúdanos registrando gente, ayúdanos tratando de que la gente esté registrada para que se vacune.
Así es muy importante ayudar a los mayores que no pueden registrarse, a esas personas que no tienen accesibilidad de internet, ya que algunos de nosotros sí lo tenemos. Entonces, ayudar lo más posible para que todos nos podamos vacunar lo antes posible. Yeah.
Could I also add that we are about to push out a campaign? They will see it in their water bills about help your neighbor. So reach out to your neighbors if they don't have internet, if they don't have transportation, if they need help with registering for a vaccine, if they need, any kind of assistance. We're asking the public to help each other so that we can get as many people vaccinated as possible.
Wow, that's amazing. I think
Sí, yo le diría a la gente, hay que hacer competencias entre tus vecinos, hay que hacer un esfuerzo para que todos estemos vacunados.
I think my internet was going a little weird. I'm back.
Okay, good.
Nope.
Bueno.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I think my internet was out and I just got back with it. We've had some bad weather in my area, so I do apologize for that. I want to jump into the next question that we have, that I think it's one of the most important for our Latino community, is that do I have to present an ID or do I have to show that I have a health insurance when I get registered to get vaccinated?
La vacuna no hace falta no tienes que mostrar una identificación en el sentido de una licencia de manejar, no tienes que ser una persona que esté legalmente en este país, con tal de que tengas alguna identificación, puede ser un pasaporte, puede ser una tarjeta consular, alguna identificación, puede ser un recibo de luz, alguna identificación, y que tengas, que muestres tu edad, eso es todo lo que necesitas. No te cobran, no tienes que tener seguro, vaya. Esto es lo más fácil que puede haber. Está siendo cubierto por el gobierno, el servicio es gratuito, no tienes que demostrar nada. Realmente el esfuerzo es simplemente hacerlo.
I think he said this, but absolutely no documentation is necessary, no ID, nothing like that, even no driver's license is necessary, and there is absolutely no cost to this at all. If they do have insurance, most people collect insurance because the insurance will pay for the administration fee. However, nothing goes to deductibles, no out-of-pocket expenses at all.
Awesome. And then this also counts for, places like CVS, Kroger, and major drugstores around the country that are now, especially in the state, are now taking appointments, and that is correct, right?
Absolutamente.
Yes, and if they do, they just need to report that to me, and I can put that in the chat box, or if you can put my information in there for everyone, just to email me if they have to pay anything for a vaccine. I would want to know about that.
Perfect. We'll get your information and put it in the comments so people reach out to you and your team if they get any problems if they gotten vaccinated. And they've been, if they're going to a site and they're getting questions about their social security number or their medical insurance, because I think that's really important. I'm going to put her email in the chat for people to see, and then I'm going to read it.
I just did it for you, so.
Yeah, she just did.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm going to put it in the screen real quick for people to see. This is her email. And then I'm going to put it in the chat for people to get her. There we go. It's both on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you so much, Dr. Anna. I think people would really appreciate that they'll be able to reach out to you, someone that has already gotten the vaccine, that's helping us, distribute the vaccine to remote places, to people in our community. So I do appreciate that.
I would like for everybody to know, too, that, we keep track of the populations that our health department serves for vaccine. And although we vaccinate everyone across the state, so the 100,000 that we've done are not just people who live and work in Gwinnett County. This is all over the state. People come to us. But we've only had 3% of the Hispanic population in our 100,000 doses given. And so we really need to make an effort to increase more, because this is a very heavily populated Hispanic population in Gwinnett County, and we're not reaching them.
Yeah, you're totally right.
Quiero enfatizar eso que dijo la doctora Arona. Gwinnett es uno de los condados que tiene un porcentaje de la población más alta hispana, y sin embargo solo 3% de las más de 100,000 dosis que han puesto han ido a hispanos. A ver, amigos, por favor, vamos a vacunarnos. Tenemos que ser los primeros, no los últimos. Háganlo por ustedes, háganlo por su familia, háganos por la felicidad de regresar a abrazarnos, a estar juntos. Por favor, pónganse la vacuna.
Así es. Mil gracias, Dr. Del Rio. Dr. Arona, what would you say to the Latino community that might have some hesitancy about coming to get the vaccine, about it's safe, come and get it, and if they don't know English, if they don't know, how to communicate, what would you tell them to create that comfort about them coming to get the vaccine?
Okay, so our vaccination sites are safe. It's large enough for social distancing. We have Spanish interpreters. You do not need to speak one word of English to be there. And we have people that will translate. We have people that will facilitate this whole thing. If people have reservations about things like side effects or long-term things or just questions about the vaccine, I respect their questions, but I need to be able to address those. So email me your concerns about the vaccine and listen to leaders like Dr. Carlos Del Rio, who, I'm sure everyone looks up to, and, listen to his advice about this. The important thing is there's 2 ways the vaccine works, or 3 ways really. First off is if you get the vaccine, it prevents you from getting COVID, but it's not 100%. The second thing is that it protects you if you do get COVID from hospitalization and death, and it's very effective against that. And then the third thing is for those in the population that can't get vaccinated due to health concerns or otherwise, by you getting the vaccine protects the entire community. So we've really got to do this for more than ourselves.
That's true. That's true. I do have a very important question here in the comments from Beatriz. I'm going to read it in Spanish and then translate it for you. Ella nos pregunta y nos dice, cuando nos presentamos nos pidieron la licencia como identificación y la tarjeta del seguro médico. Ellos le hicieron fotocopia y nos la devolvieron. El lugar en el que ella se vacunó está en el Department of Health. Y nos pregunta, ¿hay confusión cuando uno se presenta al sitio de vacunación? Porque a ellos les pidieron identificación. So the question that she's asking is basically she registered for the vaccine, and then once she arrived to the place where she was going to get the vaccine, she got asked to present ID and then insurance, and they apparently they made a photocopy of her ID and then they gave it back to her. So she's been getting some confusions about when people get to the place, if they get asked about this, what should they say?
Okay, prior to yesterday, we had to ensure that people we were vaccinating were eligible. Now that yesterday has come up, there's no documentation that needs to be provided anymore, because now the entire state of Georgia over the age of 16 can get vaccine. Prior to that time, we were supposed to, obviously had to make sure that the people we were vaccinating were eligible for it. Okay. The second thing is,
translate for her real quick. Beatriz, gracias por la pregunta, y por ahora lo que nos está diciendo la doctora Arona es que antes de ayer se tenían que asegurar que las personas que estaban llegando a los lugares de vacunación fueran elegibles para ponerse la vacuna, ya que ayer hubo un cambio en elegibilidad. Eso ahora cambió de ahora en adelante, pero en días y en meses anteriores se tenían que asegurar que estas personas eran elegibles de acuerdo a la edad. All right.
Okay, and the second thing, the reason we take a copy, if they have insurance, of course we copy their insurance card, but if the reason we copy their ID is because we register people into our M&M system, which is our electronic medical records, so that we can document the fact that they got the vaccine. That's very important. And then that information gets translated to the GRIT system at the state level, so that we know who got the vaccine, what lot number, all of that. And so again, they don't need documentation status, but we like to have their ID. If they don't bring an ID, we're going to ask those questions for them.
Okay, perfect.
Yo creo que eso es muy importante, que la gente se dé cuenta que hay un sistema de información en el estado que se llama GRITS, donde va toda la información de quién está vacunado y quién no. Es como sabemos quién se vacuna. De alguna manera hay que capturar esa información, pero lo importante es, si tienes seguro, si tienes licencia, te la van a pedir, pero si no la tienes, eso no significa que no te vayan a vacunar.
Así es. Bueno, mil gracias a los dos. Thank you both so much for being here with us. I want to say some final few words. We'll be adding a lot of the information that was provided today, some of the links, Dr. Arona's email, some information in Spanish for y'all to see in this website that I'm going to be showing right now. That's our LAA COVID page. It's both in English and in Spanish. Esta información que nos dieron hoy, los dos doctores, la vamos a poner en esta página web que está en nuestros comentarios, en la página aquí abajito, para que tengan todos acceso a la información que nos acabaron de dar estos dos doctores. But other than that, do you have any final word, doctors, to the people that are watching us at home?
Yes, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, this is a race of the V's, is what I call it. The vaccine versus the variants. So while we push out the vaccine, we really need people to follow the prevention measures we're sick of hearing about. But it's very important, because the variants are trying to win and trying to get ahead of us. So sign up for the vaccine when you can, when you can get an appointment. If you have any trouble, people can email me and I'll help them get an appointment. Okay. The other thing is please follow the prevention messages: social distancing, wearing a mask, washing your hands, stay home when you're sick. All of that's very important while we do this.
Sí, yo lo único que digo es que tenemos la Asociación Latinoamericana, tenemos a Gwinnett County, el Departamento de Salud. Todo el mundo queremos ver cómo nos vacunamos más rápido. Mi gran satisfacción es saber que cada vez más y más gente está vacunando. Hagamos lo nuestro. De ti depende que acabe esto. Por favor, vacúnate. Vacuna a tu familia, vacuna a tus seres queridos. Vamos a salir de este problema. Se va a acabar la pandemia, pero la vamos a acabar nosotros. Entonces, no dejes pasar un día y vacúnate. No hay excusa para no vacunarte. Y cada vez que yo sigo estando en el hospital y viendo todavía personas venir enfermas y viendo personas que están muriendo, que no están vacunadas, me da enorme tristeza, porque se están perdiendo vidas debido a que la gente no hizo lo que tenía que hacer. Vacúnate. Lo haces por ti, lo haces por tu familia, lo haces por tu comunidad.
Así es. Thank you both so much for being here with us. We really appreciate it from the whole LAA team and our community. Thank you both so much. And for everybody watching at home, have a great day. Have a great Friday. Feliz viernes para todos. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.